What is up, everyone? Kyle here. Today we are going to be doing the mock-up on the rear splitter and then starting on the brake cooling ducts. As you see, this is what the cooling ducts used to look like. So they would go, well, they're not even cooling ducts, still just blocks off. So they'd go right in there and that hole, just completely block off. This is what basically the fog lights were going. Well, I got these. So for the other Mustangs that had fog lights, they came with these. Well, I take the fog lights off and I'm thinking it'll work pretty well, because as you can see, the hole goes straight through to the wheel well. So I'll put these in and use them kind of as a brake duct, but let's get them in and see if it's actually gonna work. They just come apart in packaging. As you can see, these look brand new compared to the other ones. Pretty decent little hole, and I will be able to put maybe like some hose and stuff around the, it does give me a lip all the way around, so I can put a hose on it and clamp it down and put it in there. So that way it can run actually to the brakes. Install's pretty simple. Do like this, flat part's on top, that clips in there, and then you just push this part in. And there it is. So you can tell these look brand new, the color they should be, and it just feeds in right into the wheel well. I already got the other one put in. You can see it there. And this way we have brake cooling ducts that actually look like they're supposed to be, or they came with the car. So I already had the splitter made up. I just used cardboard. It just needs a little bit of fine tuning. This is pretty close how it's going to look. Oh, it looks like something under the car dripped on it. Oh well, it's gonna be pretty big. So based on my class, I get 8 inches from the front here. So drop this straight down, and that's why it sticks out so long. It looks like it's long just because the front of the car kind of curves in on, I guess drops back there. Might bring this in just a little bit because it looks like it sticks out past the fender just a little bit, but we will see on this side. Yeah, it might take about 1 inch or so off on each side. Other than that, it looks pretty good. And I will need to obviously fix that angle because it looks like it might have some wheel well issues at the front there. What is up, everyone? Kyle here. We are back working on Twisted 6. Just little updates of the car here recently. As you can see, the interior is almost out. You can have one more door panel. But I got this seat installed. I didn't show you guys a video of me working on the seat because I knew it would be a little more difficult than what I thought. So basically, I bought a slider set and then seat mounts. So the seat mount, our Sayville seat mounts, worked perfectly. The slider set was for a different brand. I figured it would, I could make it work. It wouldn't be that difficult. Turns out I was wrong. So the Sayville seat was wider than the seat that those sliders are used for. As a result of them being wider, the sliders and the seat mounts, these and this, wouldn't line up. Yes, I know it's forward because I have little ass legs. So they wouldn't line up, so it literally made the sliders useless. The sliders would just sit underneath the seat. So what I did was I set up a little rig here. I'll show you guys a picture here. So I set up a little rig there and basically took these sliders apart, re-drilled the holes, and put them back on. That took a little bit longer than what I thought it would, simply because I measured once and drilled twice, is what it is. But it's not like making extra holes in that seat bottom plate or whatever is going to do anything. Actually just take, a couple grams out of it. Weight savings. No, I'm just kidding. So I got the seat set up, and then after getting the seat set up, I had to make multiple adjustments, take it, put it in, take it out, put it in, take it out, simply because I couldn't get the seating position exactly how I wanted it, for me to be able to literally just reach the pedals and have the seating angle that I wanted. So with this, as you can see, it is kind of close. Not quite the lean back angle I want, but it is good. Simply because if I get more angle in the back, I just can't quite reach the pedal still. And it is what it is. And then with the 2011s, steering wheel, let me unlock it for you. The steering wheels just go up and down. They don't telescope. So with the Shelby, the steering wheel telescopes, so I could sit back just a little bit farther, bring the steering wheel to me, feel more comfortable. This one I can't. I have to basically make sure my feet and my arms are comfortable for races and stuff like that. So that is the seats in. Need a harness for it. Just probably gonna hook it up back there. No harness bar just yet. Trying to keep this build as cheap as possible for the time being. But the seat is, oh, haven't tightened down the bottom yet because I am going to be removing the carpet out of it all. I feel like the carpet weighs probably 30 pounds just from the little bit I've picked up. So I just keep getting in and out of the seat, making sure the seating position is good on different days, because the last thing you want is be pushing for an event. You sit back in the car, like, actually, I don't like that. The one issue I did have with moving these sliders out is, as you can see, that's not supposed to look like that. This is the slider, basically, switch or handle, whatever you want to call it. This is what you pull up on, and this is how you get the sliders to work. Well, by moving the sliders out, this no longer fit. I probably spent 45 minutes to an hour bending this, moving this, trying to get this to work. And I got close, but not good enough to get the sliders to work. I could get one slider to work and the other side wouldn't. I could probably cut this in half, make it a little longer, but I don't have anything to weld it back together. I don't really have something that I want to cut it with. But I did just manually move the sliders where they're going to be, and I guess they're not really sliders, they're more just my seating position now. You can crawl under there and move them. It's a little bit of a pain, but I'll probably be the only one driving it for now, so don't really need to move it all that often. But this is now basically useless. So other than taking out that last door panel, the other one's over there. We are working on this today. The hard work's basically done. Gotta clean up some straightness on it, but this is going to be the new splitter for the car. As you can see, absolutely massive. It's modeled after some other splitters that make, 2,000 pounds of downforce, like 160 miles an hour. Obviously we won't be going that speeds, but with autocross, you're going, maybe 60 miles an hour tops. You got to have it very, very aggressive. Basically, me and a friend have been talking about it. You have to have as much downforce as you can at low speeds, because you're not really going to be getting those high speeds. So you really have to do more with the downforce. We're going to start with this, and then over there, I have for the can irons I'm going to throw in the car. So big old splitter. I'll model what these look like. Just a mock-up, but as you can see, very, very big. We'll take them down a little bit, but you can see a leading edge there. And as you can see, unlike normal splitters, I cut it off here, and here's the bottom section here. The reason why I want to do that was, with it being wood, I wanted to make oil changes still easier with the car. So I have the section, so basically, if you guys look, oh, that just fell on me. And so this goes right here, and that's where you get the normal look of a front splitter. So that way I have two different pieces. I can take the front off if something happens to it, or the back I can take off, change the oil real quick, look underneath it, things like that, without having to take the entire splitter off. So that's why I did it that way. But we are going to get back to it. Going to finish taking out the rest of the interior here. Get this splitter taken care of. I got a jigsaw over there I'm going to use. We're going to keep turning this thing into a race car. Hopefully I can get some videos of it soon, how it feels, how it drives. So I want to get rid of these wheels, get something lighter. They are just too heavy for my car. They're 305s. I want to switch to like a 285, 295 max. Just because, a full slick tire at a 295 would help this car a lot and be a lot lighter. This car just doesn't make enough power. So, all right, guys, this video took place over many days getting the front splitter front splitter installed. As you can see, there it is. Is installed, looks good. I did some bracing behind here, so that way I was able to use those holes that were already drilled to the license plate and braced behind it. As you guys can see, it's just absolutely massive. Can lower ride height just a little bit. Got end plates there. I don't know how well you guys can see, but I have bracing in there. As you guys can see, I got bracing there. Bracing up there as well. And obviously I have that stuff back there that I used. Zoom underneath, you can see all my attachment points. Zoom in there. Use washers to get the spacing I wanted, so that way I can adjust this wing up and down depending if I want to. That's flat there. See the attachment there, right up against it. That's how I was able to get everything attached how I wanted to. But this, I can always take it off, adjust it to get the proper angle on it that I want. I have multiple points here. It does wiggle a little bit, as you can see. So as you guys can see, I use the struts from the rear wing on the Shelby, the drag wing. Now these are designed to not go in, but they will go out. So as you can see, I push on it a little bit and it gets just a little bit longer there. The reason behind that is the car will be going slow speeds. It won't be going very fast. As the car goes faster, the front splitter will deflect down a little bit, creating more downforce the faster we go. It won't move very much, but it will move a little bit. So it's kind of a movable, it's a movable aero unit, but not really movable. So it's how you get around the rules. But it'll flex, move down a little bit, creating more downforce the faster the car goes. I am very proud of it. It took a long time. Obviously it's not, not carbon, it's just plywood, but it works, it's functional. We'll see how much downforce or how much it actually helps the front end of the car when we actually get going. But yeah, it wasn't too hard to put together. Just a lot of thought in how I was going to get it to attach to the car while keeping this bumper looking relatively the same. Coming up next, as you guys can see over here, I have the splitter off. Man, it's been a rough day. Not have the splitter off, I have the spoiler and wicker bill off. With that being off, that means new wing will be coming. Not sure when we'll get here, but new wing's coming. And next to install is going to be a massive diffuser on here. Already got some designs. As you guys see, there's just a quick little thoughts in my head of what I want it to look like. I actually have to get the plywood together and get it taken care of. But there it is, front splitter came together really, really nicely. Excited to see it actually get used and push this car further. And you see the other wheels are on just because it's easier to move the car around with those. And I don't want to flat spot these since they aren't used all that often. As you guys can see, interior, I got the race seat in as well. Interior is almost basically completely stripped out. More coming with that. So we got quite a bit of weight reduction out of the car. More aero coming soon. Want all the aero to be lined out before we really do anything else. If the wing doesn't show up in time, but I get the rear diffuser on, that will help with downforce versus not having anything on the back and everything on the front. So with that being said, more coming, more installs. I'm gonna show you guys more on the diffuser. The splitter was quite a bit harder than what I was expecting it to be, so I didn't film all that much. I want to just work through it, get everything taken care of. Diffuser looks like it might be easier, knock on wood. But until then, we'll see y'all soon.